You're watching WYLN TV 35. Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is WYLN News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. WYLN News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on WYLN News. I'm Philip Kaufman, filling in for Julia Wiegand. Authorities in Luzerne County are investigating a Thursday night fatal shooting in Wilkes-Barre. The shooting took place after 10 p.m. inside an apartment building in the 200 block of South Washington Street. According to the district attorney's office, someone living in a second-floor apartment of the building shot and killed a man. The identity of the fatal victim has not been released pending notification of the next of kin. The gunman has been identified and was being questioned by detectives, though their identity hasn't been released at this time either. Authorities also said that this was not a random incident and does not pose a danger to the public. 4 people were displaced and 7 pets perished during a Thursday morning fire in Schuylkill County. Fire crews were called to 235 A Street in Girardville around 7:30 a.m. for reported house fire. Crews worked quickly to extinguish the flames to prevent them from spreading to neighboring structures. A vacant house at 233 sustained smoke and water damage, while 237 sustained minor smoke damage. The Red Cross was called in to assist the family of 4 with food, clothing, and shelter. But sadly, 2 dogs, 2 cats, 2 birds, and a hamster all died in the fire. The fire was believed to have started as a result of a culinary incident and appears to be accidental at this time. A historic Hazleton church is set to be demolished. The Hazleton Public Library purchased St. Paul's United Methodist Church on Green Street back in 2019 and wanted to restore the church to its former glory. Unfortunately, there were no prospects for the buildings, so the library's Board of Trustees decided to start the process of having it torn down this week. Renovating the building was estimated to cost between $3 and $5 million. Though no current timeline's been set to have the building razed, trustees want to save any reusable historical items. The board believes that there's still a ray of hope that someone may come forward to save the property before the library moves forward with demolition. State Representative Tara Toohill took a tour of CARGILL facilities today as employees received their vaccines. We're here outside the local CARGILL plant in the Humboldt Industrial Park to speak with Tara Toohill, who just finished touring the facility and attending a vaccination clinic with CARGILL employees.
Morale is great in there, and I was able to see the workers as they got their vaccines today. They were able to choose between 2 different vaccines. And this clinic has been yesterday and today, and we've had 350 workers vaccinated so far.
United Food and Commercial Workers Local 1776, the union that represent the workers here at CARGILL, worked with the CARGILL facility, the PA Department of Health, members of the COVID-19 Vaccine Task Force, and State Representative Toohill to secure this on-site vaccination clinic.
So we've been working with the Department of Health to make sure that we could get vaccines right to larger populations. So people that are working, another problem is that if you're working a 12-hour shift in a building, you don't have time to sit online or wait on the phone to get your appointment. So these workers that are working right now have actually been the ones to struggle to get those vaccinations. So by bringing the vaccinations to the employees, we're really bridging that gap.
The industrial facilities in the Hazleton area were one of the first to see high numbers of COVID-19 cases when the pandemic began.
So the workers here at CARGILL, they were among the first to get the virus here in southern Luzerne County. And also the workers had to continue working so that we could get food onto people's plates here in Pennsylvania and onto people's plates throughout the United States. So it's really important for us to make sure that these critical, essential workers are vaccinated if they choose to get vaccinated so that they're protected and can continue working.
Toohill has continued to support local vaccine efforts, including forming the Greater Hazleton Industry and Business Leaders COVID-19 Task Force alongside the Hazleton Chamber of Commerce and assisting in the creation of a similar task force with the businesses at the Humboldt Industrial Park.
So since the beginning of the pandemic, we've worked with CARGILL very closely. They made a lot of modifications to the way that they conduct business with their employees to keep their employees safe. And since we've had vaccinations available, we've really been trying to get those vaccinations to our critical workers, our essential workers.
The Mohegan Sun Casino at Pocono Downs will play host to a pair of COVID-19 vaccine clinics next week. Luzerne County EMA, the Berwick Hospital, the Health Department, and the University of Scranton's Nursing Department are sponsoring the clinics, where hundreds of appointments will be available for Moderna vaccines. The two clinics will be held Monday and Wednesday from 2 until 8 p.m. in the casino's Keystone Grand Ballroom. Walk-ins will be accepted, but organizers encourage people to visit pennsylvaniaproduction.herokuapp.com to register ahead of time. The clinics are open to everyone and not just the residents of Luzerne County. A Mahanoy City grandmother was locked up late Thursday after threatening her granddaughter's boyfriend with a butcher knife. Mahanoy City Police were called to a home in the 600 block of West Pine Street around 9:15 Thursday evening for reported domestic involving a female with a knife. An investigation revealed that an argument ensued between 60-year-old Deborah Hetrick and her granddaughter's boyfriend, which escalated when she allegedly grabbed a 12-inch butcher knife from a kitchen counter, raised it above her head, and went after him with it. Hetrick was charged with aggravated assault, simple assault, and possessing the instrument of a crime with intent to use it. She remains behind Schuylkill County prison bars on 10% of $10,000 bail. NEPA restaurants will be able to apply for direct relief through the Restaurant Revitalization Fund beginning at noon this Monday, May 3rd. The $28.6 billion fund will provide restaurants and other eligible businesses with funding equal to their pandemic-related revenue loss up to $10 million per business. Aside from restaurants, eligible businesses can include food carts, trucks and stands, bars and breweries and wineries, inns and caterers, bakeries, and more. The relief does not have to be repaid, provided that the money's put towards eligible uses by March 11th of 2023. Visit sba.gov/restaurants for more information. The Giant Company recalled its Giant and Martin's caramel corn rice cakes after being notified by the supplier of an undeclared milk allergen. The products in question are in 6.56-ounce packages and have the UPC number 68826707615 with a lot code of DEC 1521. Customers with milk allergies who bought this product should not consume it and can return it to their local Giant, Martin's, or Giant Heirloom Market for a full refund. Customers can also contact the Giant Company's Customer Support Center at 1-888-814-4268. Coming up on WYLN News, your favorite furry friends of the week, plus bringing you the Iron Pig schedule and opponents. But first, we'll take a look at our 5-day forecast brought to you by the WYLN Weather Kids. We'll be right back.
Do you like craft beer? Do you want to learn the right way to sample wine? How about checking out a restaurant with a unique flavor or a crazy food challenge? These are just some of the things we are featuring on Wine, Hops, and Road Stops. So, spend some time learning about great wine, great beer, and great food on WYLN TV 35.
This week on Let's Talk Chiropractic, we're going to talk to Jill Lallery and Dr. Alex about how chiropractic could not help her. She needed surgery, but she came back, and now we can still help her. So stay tuned.
Hey guys, it's Ray Merrill. It's Blaze Alexander, Greater Hazleton Mazda. Hey guys, I know what you're thinking. There's a lot of brands out there. You're looking for something all-wheel drive. You're looking for something sporty. You're looking for something reliable. According to Consumer Reports, Mazda has emerged as the most reliable car brand, beating Toyota and Lexus. You might as well get the most reliable car from the most reliable dealer. So if you're in the area, come on down to Blaze Alexander, Greater Hazleton. We are the largest Mazda dealer in central Pennsylvania as far as inventory goes. Check them out online at blazealexander.com. We'll even deliver them to you.
Right as we speak, there are hundreds of loving animals in our area in need of forever homes. WYLN's Julie Stefanovich has more on National Adopt a Shelter Pet Day.
As we mentioned to you yesterday, today is National Adopt a Shelter Pet Day. It was created to bring awareness to the thousands of pets waiting in shelters for their forever homes. There are shelters throughout the area that work year-round to help animals find new loving homes, including in Carbon County.
But we want to hook the right dog up with the right family. So really the start of it is a visit. You have to come down, you have to see the dogs we have on hand. If you see something that interests you, we give you the information, we let you take it for a walk as long as it's up to date on shots. We give you all the information we know on the dog. And then it takes a couple visits. But we're going to work with you as long as it takes just to make it right. And usually it's a pretty pleasant experience for folks.
There's also other ways to help if you're not able to adopt. Consider volunteering at a local shelter or make a donation, whether it be monetary or supplies for the shelters. Many rescue groups also have fostering programs where you can take in an animal temporarily while the organization finds them a forever home. And lastly, remember that it's better to adopt and shop as you give a shelter pet a second chance at life. Reporting for WYLN News, I'm Julie Stefanovich.
Thanks, Julie. And speaking of, if you've been thinking about adopting a pet, well, there's no time like the present. So check out the SPCA of Luzerne County for all breeds, shapes, and sizes of pets, especially since it's National Adopt a Shelter Pet Day. The shelter has some more furry friends for you to check out this week. Everyone, meet Jasper. He's a 1-year-old playful and smart cutie. He enjoys playing fetch, and his previous owner said he's good around children. And up next, well, who doesn't love an Oreo? She's one of the newest additions to the cat room and is just as sweet as a cookie, if not more. She's around 8 months old and loves attention. So call 570-825-4111 and come on down to check out these featured pets and more while the shelter continues adopting out new best friends amid the pandemic. WYLN's all-time OT hero, Marty Burns, has the in-depth analysis of what's happening on and off-season across our viewing area. Media Relations Manager for the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs, Mike Ventola, is on this week. So, let's talk sports. Here's part 5.
Mike, a little bit of a different schedule than fans are used to. Only 6 teams in the Northeast Key. Joining the Iron Pigs is Buffalo, Worcester, who is the former Pawtucket Red Sox, Rochester, Scranton Wilkes-Barre, and Syracuse.
Yes, with the whole breakdown of now the AAA East being a 20-team league, just in light of what's happening in regards to COVID-19 this year, schedule makers elected for the Northeast Division, which consists of those teams you make, to just play a full season schedule against one another. So I actually think it benefits the Iron Pigs greatly here in 2021 just because of a lighter travel schedule. So I know fans may get a little frustrated seeing the same teams over and over, but I think the Phillies may not mind it because a good amount of those teams are National League East opponents, but even some of those teams are vaunted American League East opponents who they've had to dabble with from time to time down in spring training. So it's a lot of familiarity, but it'll certainly be a good test for these AAA players.
And the other thing that fans have to get used to, 6-game either homestands or road trips, no Monday games. So you'll be playing the same team from Tuesday to Sunday. So like Mike said, you're going to see the same Rochester team starting opening night May the 4th, and they're going to be in the Lehigh Valley till May 9th. So you're going to, like you said, Mike, you're going to get used to seeing the same teams a lot of the time, and especially in 1 week periods.
Yeah, so like it'll be Phillies Nationals week 1, and that's how it's how the schedule's being put out. And then after that, the Iron Pigs go on the road until the week of Memorial Day. So after we're busting our butt for these first 6 games, in the entire season, and then they go on the road for some time. So it's just the way the schedule's worked out this year. Luckily, come 2022. Those other 14 teams I haven't yet mentioned will come back into play in some capacity then, but at least for 2021, Iron Pigs fans, they'll get to know those teams in their division extremely well.
And be sure to check out this week's entire half hour of Let's Talk Sports, Saturday at 2 and 8:30 p.m. and again Sunday at noon and 5:30 p.m. Coming up on Japan's News Choice, your week in review, courtesy of our Julia Wiegand. Plus, wrapping up Autism Acceptance Month with none other than our own Chris Fulmer. Stay with us.
Hey, Dr. Alex here with another Feel Good Friday. So today we're talking about health from the stance of wellness versus sickness. So when I'm talking to patients about health, I usually don't talk about, hey, are you lacking any sickness? I'm talking about how healthy is their body. For example, if somebody gets a little under the weather, they're fighting something off, but they have a healthy body and it's going to be fine, versus somebody who maybe they're not sick now, but you could tell they're maybe they're anemic, their health's fading. If anything were to happen to them, it would be worse. Someone frail versus somebody, with a lot of vigor. So when you're looking at your health, don't make decisions necessarily entirely to avoid sickness. Make decisions that make you healthy. See your friends, eat good, get in the sun, take your vitamins, and feel good.
WYLN programming is online all the time. Visit our website at WYLNTV.com to check out archive shows and a live stream of our broadcasts. And don't forget to visit all of our social media pages for breaking news, weather, and sports. You can also head directly to our YouTube page for all our programming at youtube.com/WYLNTV35. Subscribe and ring that bell so you get notified every time there's a new show available online.
If you're looking for an affordable pre-owned car or truck, Chura's Auto Sales has a great lineup of clean, dependable, and quality vehicles. Stop in 610 North Broad Street, West Hazelton, 570-454-7229.
From the bottom of our hearts, the WYLN TV 35 family would like to say thank you to all essential workers for your service to our community and for keeping us safe.
At Grand Central, our family has been supplying your family with quality brand name furniture, mattresses, and appliances for over 3 generations. Whether you choose from our excellent selection of Lazy Boy, Catnapper, or England furniture, or from our fantastic selection of Sealy and Stearns & Foster mattresses, we guarantee total comfort in every room of your home.
With expert advice, everyday low prices, plus interest-free financing for up to 60 months.
From our family to your family.
Grand Central in Hazelton, everything to make your house a home.
Monday. A CVS pharmacy employee dialed 911 after discovering an unresponsive man inside one of their dumpsters Monday afternoon while taking out the trash behind the business at 64th South Locust Street in Hazelton. Police arrived shortly after 2 with detectives and the coroner, who took control of the body and pronounced him dead at 2:30. It's still unclear whether the gate was locked before the employee took the trash out or when it was taken out last. Authorities described the deceased as a middle-aged white male and later ruled his cause of death as suicide. Though his identity has not been released, police say he was homeless and staying in the area. Tuesday, 2 people were taken into custody for several drug violations in Luzerne County. State Police, Butler Township Police, and the Hazleton Police Department Narcotics Unit stopped a Chevrolet SUV this past Sunday for a traffic violation along Route 309. Officers detected the smell of marijuana coming from the vehicle, occupied by 30-year-old Omar Alexis Vargas and 30-year-old Justine Thomas, both of Hazleton. A search warrant was executed and revealed over 100 grams of fentanyl, marijuana, empty vials, and packaging materials. Vargas was charged with possession with intent to deliver, illegally operating a motor vehicle not equipped with ignition interlock, and summary traffic violations. Thomas was charged with possession with intent to deliver and possession of drug paraphernalia. Both were taken to prison for lack of bail. Wednesday, 9 Supreme Court justices heard the case of a Mahanoy area teen Wednesday who's claiming her First Amendment rights were violated. Back in 2017, then 14-year-old Brandy Levy failed to make the Mahanoy area varsity cheerleading team. So she posted a profanity-filled rant on Snapchat aimed at the school, cheer, and softball teams, accompanied by a photo of her and a friend raising their middle fingers to the camera while off of school property. When the district found out and suspended Levy from cheering for a year, her parents filed a lawsuit against the district, claiming their daughter's First Amendment rights were violated. After a judge ruled that Levy be put back on the team, the school district appealed and sought to reverse the lower court's decision that what students say off campus is off limits for punishment by school officials. Now we fast forward to Wednesday, where the Supreme Court debated about the balance of teen-free speech on social media and just how schools can maintain discipline. Levy's attorney urged the justices to make it clear that schools can't police students' social media on the basis of potential disruption. This is the first time the court addressed the issue of school-related speech done on social media off campus, and they're expected to hand down a decision by the end of June. Levy, now 18, is currently a freshman at Bloomsburg University. Thursday, President Joe Biden declared in his first address to a joint session of Congress that America is rising anew, marking his first 100 days in office by optimistically pointing to the nation's future beyond the pandemic, rebuilding the economy, and transforming the government's role in American life. The president demanded massive structural changes, including his proposed $2 trillion infrastructure proposal, American Jobs Plan, and a $1.8 trillion investment on children, families, and education. He stated that funding would come from a series of tax increases for the wealthy to raise about $1.5 trillion over a decade. Biden also called for unity as he addressed climate change, Afghanistan, police reform, gun violence, immigration, voting rights, and the Capitol riots. Friday, authorities in Luzerne County are investigating a Thursday night fatal shooting in Wilkes-Barre. The shooting took place after 10 p.m. inside an apartment building in the 200 block of South Washington Street. According to the district attorney's office, someone living in a second-floor apartment of the building shot and killed a man. The identity of the fatal victim has not been released pending notification of the next of kin. The gunman has been identified and was being questioned by detectives, though their identity hasn't been released at this time either. Authorities also said this was not a random incident and does not pose a danger to the public. That's it for your week in review, here on Wyln News.
Penn State Hazleton is improving the lives of others, starting in our community.
Providing degrees that meet the needs of the area.
Fueling entrepreneurship and contributing more than $36 million annually to the state's economy.
Researching the health of our local ecosystem on the Susquehanna River.
Together, our impact keeps growing, backed by the strength of 24 campuses and 700,000 alumni.
PPW Nation, get ready for the best of PPW Season 2. Join Paul Bowe, E. Julius Kuiper, Alexander Bravado, Tom Mitchell, and Alex Watt as we take you down memory lane and relive some of the best PPW matches of all time. Saturdays at 5 p.m., Sundays at 10 p.m., only on WYLN.
WYLN TV 35 is looking for part-time seasonal live sports videographers and production crew. Evening and weekend work is required. Candidates should have experience in sports production and camera operation. Please contact WYLN TV 35 at 570-459-1869 extension 1172 or email news@WYLNTV.com.
All Care Home Care, providing quality in home care since 1986. Call and see how their team of licensed physical therapists, skilled nurses, speech, and occupational therapists can provide you with exceptional service in the comfort of your own home. They also offer dietitian, home health aide, and medical social worker services. You have a choice in your health care. For safe, friendly, qualified care, call All Care Home Care today and let their team begin taking care of you and your loved ones.
WYLN CA 35's children's programming is designed with the specific purpose of serving the educational and informational needs of children. In compliance with FCC guidelines, a copy of the children's programming report is on file for public inspection at WYLN 1057 East 10th Street in Hazleton, Pennsylvania during normal business hours. To view the report online, visit fcc.org.
WYLN's going behind the scenes to learn more about the lives and goals of our local leaders. So, our own Chris Fulmer is leading the way as we wrap up Autism Acceptance Month and this week's series. And welcome back to this week's final segment of Leading the Way with Chris Fulmer. So, looking towards the future, what are some goals ahead? Do you have any goals ahead just upcoming or anything that's way far ahead that you're looking forward to?
Well, Phil, as the Beach Boys mentioned, God only knows. But specifically, I would like to get better with longer distance traveling to try and break out of that and be better. I would like to eventually do at least one work of fiction. Hopefully, I do have one idea. Hopefully, I can carry it to fruition. I would like to continue to be able to profile attractions in the state and general area if things permit. I would, in general, just want to live the best life possible and try and whenever my time does come, that people say they're glad I was here.
And the long distance travel, anywhere you're looking to particular?
Well, at the moment of this taping, we are hoping to get to Connecticut this summer if everything allows. I have New York's Hudson Valley, maybe down the Shenandoah Valley in Virginia. I'd like to get out to Dayton at one point. We'll see. My mother would like to take a train trip to the Rocky Mountains eventually, so we might get that in.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun. And the work of fiction, do you want to keep it secret now or anything you can give us?
Yeah, better keep it classified until I know for sure, but thank you for your interest.
No problem. All right, folks, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us this week, and an even bigger thank you to Chris for coming and chatting with us. Thank you, Chris.
You're welcome, Phil. I'm very glad to be here.
Always glad to have you here. And folks, have a great weekend, everyone. Best of luck, best of life. Good night. And that's the news. Remember, the source matters now more than ever. Catch all the latest on our Facebook page or at WYLNTV.com, where you can also find LBHN's real facts about COVID-19. Stay with us. A look at today's weather is next, right here on WYLN TV.